All right, nice Tony neighborhood, not necessarily the parking lot here, but if you see the lapping shores, etc. This is where Mr. Romney spent part of his past weekend at the Hamptons home of billionaire David Koch. If you wanted to get inside, the fee, 50 grand, that a person, not a couple. Meanwhile, President Obama, he spent part of the weekend here throwing back, I don't know, Miller Lights, I guess, at Ziggy's Bar in Ohio. The gear wasn't too bad, although I think he almost had a pinky up with a beer. But anyway, you get the idea here. A man of the people won, while the other one in a neighborhood where only the elites can dine and live. So far, Romney has done very little to quash the image that he's an out-of-touch multi-millionaire, and this weekend no different, but he did raise $3 million. And as the Wall Street Journal put it, not exactly a liberal rag, quote, "The Obama campaign is assailing Mr. Romney as an out-of-touch rich man, and the rich man obliged by vacationing at the lakeside home with a jet ski cameo." And that was from the prior week. As if that wasn't bad enough over the 4th of July weekend, this new article from Vanity Fair alleges that Romney has millions stashed away in offshore accounts in the Caribbean. And let's not forget the now infamous car elevator installed during the renovation of his $12 million beach house in Southern California. And in case you were wondering, Britney Spears reportedly has the very same one. Trust me, I can keep going on with analogies here, but by now you get the drift. It's safe to say that this weekend's romp in the Hamptons, it helped the campaign bank account, but it did very little to counteract comments like this.
I'm not concerned about the very poor. We have a safety net.
I like being able to fire people who provide services to me. $10,000? $10,000 bet?
I have some great friends that are NASCAR team owners.
To also tell my story, I'm also unemployed.
Dominic, does this matter? I mean, at the end, his base is going to like him.
No,
but
it doesn't matter.
For those undecideds out there, do they say, wait a minute, if this guy's big thing is the economy, and the Bain thing, at least everything I hear about in the ads, they'll say is that he fires a lot of people and outsources jobs to someplace for some cheap labor, and now he's got some offshore accounts and he's paying less taxes than me. Wait a minute.
That's an issue. But I think that most Americans give him a pass, as well as Mr. Obama, the current president, of where they vacation at. I think that most Americans say both of them are filthy rich. The problem for the president is that there are now 50,000 people less employed than when he took office. All Americans want to hear are about jobs. That's the problem for the president.
But I've heard conservatives say Romney can't just run out the clock. He's got to say what he's going to do.
I think he
and if they think he's looking
out
out just for his rich buddies, if I'm on the sidelines there and I don't know which way I'm going to go, I'll say, at least the other guy's looking out for me.
You make the election a referendum on Obama, which is what he's doing, and it may work. Maybe it won't, but it appears to be working so far.
Andrew?
You know, I was sitting around my house this weekend in the Hamptons, my 30,000 square foot place, and everything that Romney did and said seemed to appeal to me. I didn't have any problem with it. So I don't see how that could possibly be out of touch. I'm sicking the dogs on you next time.
Yes, I understand.
It absolutely hammers home the image that Romney is out of touch. And Dominic, I disagree with you. I don't think he can just run out the clock. I think he has to present.
So if he can't run out the clock, why is the race so close right now?
Because the country is so inherently close ideologically. You know, it's 45-45-10, the way this country operates, and every election we've had since 1980 has basically operated along those lines.
But that's exactly my point. That's exactly my point.
But that 10%
that Romney has run such a bad campaign,
and
he's still running close to close.
I think Andrew's dead on. The 5 to 7 in play every election here. It's always shocking when we look at exit polls. What changed your mind, right? The amount of the guy I'd want to have a beer with thing might, want me to go,
I think that's done this time. Look, what we're talking about here is we're talking about the narrative being played by the mainstream media. Just a few weeks ago, Barack Obama raised more money in one night in Hollywood than Mitt Romney had raised that previous month.
But wait a minute now. Wait. You don't want to talk about raising money.
Oh, I do. I want to talk about
on that one, Mr. Obama.
He raised $3 million yesterday in the Hamptons.
As of today, the last quarter, Mr. Romney raised almost $40 million more than President Obama.
Good for him.
And with super PACs, I hate to say this, but it's almost like going to be
President. You shall not filibuster me.
It's going to be like President Obama is receiving food stamps compared to the money that Romney's pulling in.
I'm about to agree with you. Give a guy a chance. Okay, he could raise $100 million. This has been the Republicans to lose from the beginning. This economy, this candidate, this president, this incumbent, this absolute disappointment of a hope and change president, incumbent. This has been the Republicans to lose.
I got a more specific
And they are losing it. They will
The
lose it.
Vanity Fair story, I think, is going to have more legs than some people want to think it does. And I think the same question we talked about in the primary, right? When Mitt Romney had to answer what he paid in taxes, okay? He said 14%. He's going to have to do some more disclosures as it relates to his tax returns. He's going to have to release them. Sooner or later, it's going to keep coming up, and he's going to have to be talking about what he has in this Cayman account or Bahamian account or whatever. I think that's going to be a real problem for him. And call me a cynic. If it wasn't a problem, it would have got him out already.
It has the potential. Look, everybody knows he's rich and he has benefited from the benefits of the advantages, the tax advantages that the wealthy have in this country. But when you start finding out that he's gaming the system, that he's hiding money and benefiting, people in other countries as opposed to benefiting here, that could be another strike if it's spun correctly.
But that's if he's gaming it. But again,
Or as Newt Gingrich said, I don't know of any American president who had a Swiss bank account, and he went on this. And then Romney not only has that, but he's got him in the Bermuda.
Right.
He's got him in the Caymans.
And this,
I'm telling you, you got to at least look like you get it. You don't have to be one of the people.
Right.
But you have to look like you get it.
And it comes down to the
I don't think
messaging.
Mitt Romney gets
And it comes down to the messaging, and it comes down to the communications, and he has been the worst prepared communication candidate, I think, of all time. He never had an answer for his own taxes. He never had an answer for anything.
Break.